اقرأ باسم ربك الذي خلق خلق الإنسان من علق اقرأ وربك الأكرم الذي علم بالقلم علم الإنسان ما لم يعلم.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. My dear brothers, sisters, respected elders, friends and family, I hope you are all well. Welcome back to our question and answers video. I have with me brother Lotfi Djafar. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, brother.
How are you?
I'm okay, alhamdulillah.
So what are we going to be doing in this video today?
Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen wa salatu wa salamu ala nabiyyina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'een. Today we will answer some questions inshallah ta'ala in regard to some animals or pets that people love to have in their houses, in their gardens and so on and so forth. Lots of people don't know the technicalities, the rules and regulations in regard to having these specific pets, which are cats and dogs.
Sure.
So we will find out what is lawful, what is not lawful, and so on and so forth.
Sure.
Yes.
So on that note, I know many of us out there like the idea of having pets in our homes, but there's certain rulings and certain things within Islam that we can and can't do. So let's talk about cats and dogs. Okay. But let's talk about cats first.
Okay.
Now, I know cats are quite cute animals. Are we allowed to have cats in our homes? And what are the rulings on buying and selling cats?
Alhamdulillah. Firstly, it is allowed for Muslims to have cats as pets in their houses, provided that you look after them, you feed them, give them water to drink, you protect them, and you care for them basically.
Sure.
If you fail to do that, then there is a serious sin on that. In reality, in Sahih Bukhari and Muslim, عُذِّبَتِ Rasulullah says, a woman was punished because she imprisoned her cat. She did not feed it or give it a drink, and she did not let it go out and eat from whatever food cat normally find on the streets or in the wild. Sure. So the cat died, and this woman was destined to be from the people of Jahannam. So the scholars, based on this hadith, they said you have to care for them and not imprison them. You have to give them some kind of freedom because they're a bit wild. You need to give them some of freedom. Alhamdulillah. So it's allowed to have it as long as you take care of them. The scholars disallowed having wild cats go into the forest and to the jungle, hunting them and then bringing them to your house or putting them in a cage in your garden. The scholars disallowed that because you're depriving it from its nature and what it's created for. That's what the scholars disallowed. As for buying and selling, there's a hadith of our beloved Rasul by Jabir ibn Abdullah. He says, أن الرسول صلى الله عليه وسلم نهى عن ثمن الكلب والسنور. He صلى prohibited selling and buying, or the money that you make from dogs and cats, i.e. selling them and buying them. So it is haram based on this hadith. However, majority of the scholars talked about this hadith, and they said when it comes to buying or selling cats, it is allowed Islamically because this hadith لا يفيد التحريم بل يفيد الكراهة. This hadith, the tahrim, the prohibition, is not in relation to being haram, but it is in relation of being disliked. So therefore it is allowed to sell and buy cats as long as you take care of them, and they say some interpretation of this hadith that this hadith refers to those cats that are in the wild. You go to the wild, you hunt them, and then you put them in a cage or you bring them to your house. They can cause harm, they can bite, they can scratch, they can hurt other animals, and so on and so forth. So generally speaking, majority of scholars, they allow buying and selling cats provided that you look after them. And there is another opinion of some scholars, minority, that says it is haram based on the hadith mentioned earlier in Sahih Muslim and Sunan Abi Dawud and Sunan Tirmidhi. So this is what it is.
So would that same apply to those people that breed cats to sell? So for example, I know some people, they have kittens,
Yeah.
they have 8 of them or whatever,
Yeah.
you know, kittens come in many quantities, and they sell some of them. But there are some people who actively do it. For example, they breed the kittens
Yeah.
to make money. What do you say
Yeah.
about that?
The scholars said it is allowed, and obviously the scholars know that there is people who do that for business, and it is allowed as long as you care for them and you don't deprive them from their nature. For example, if a female cat has given birth, give her some time to breastfeed and look after its kittens for at least some time before selling it. Otherwise, you will be depriving, you will be cutting off that nature between the mother and the kitten, and so on and so forth. So as long as you take care of them, then that's fine, according to the majority of the Islamic scholars, Lillahi alhamd. However, there is an opinion, and it is respected, that it is this allowed, allowed. But inshallah ta'ala,
Sure.
based on the opinion mentioned earlier, it's okay to do that, inshallah ta'ala.
Sure. Jazakallah khair.
Wa alaikum.
Now, we mentioned cats and dogs. Now,